Okay, RC 850 on the bench. No talking man. It will intermittently talk when it gets warm. I've gone around and heated the board. It just does CW now. I've heated the board, but I kind of narrowed it down to this little half-wave rectifier here. Let me isolate that with that piece of cardboard. Take my little heat gun here. Throw some heat on it. Blow some hot air on it. Those two diodes. Okay, let me put that down. I'll start it up again. A little more heat. Oh, it's scratchy. It's starting to talk.
RC 850 V3.5.
I got a couple Scotch key relays there. That's them right there that heat them up. Doesn't take very long. They start talking. If it cools back down, it stops talking. So we'll see if that takes care of the problem. I got the other one. The rack does the exact same thing. When the garage is nice and warm, it'll talk just fine. As soon as the temperature cools off, go silent. Just CW. All right, diodes installed. I was going to replace those two capacitors next to it, but I don't have the 10 UFs. I recapped these things. They're all new caps on this thing. I did that 10 years ago, but can't imagine them already going bad. But I had some 10 UFs. I would have just changed them since they're right there. But we're just going to go with the diodes for right now. See if it wants to start talking again. All right, so here's an update. So I went and changed those. I changed those two diodes. Like I said, you saw me earlier. I was heating the area and it would start working. And I had already replaced the caps in this whole thing 10 years ago. So I was kind of be surprised if one went bad. So when I put it back together, it still did the same thing. And I heated it back up, it still did it. So I saw online there was an update for this half-wave rectifier, the filter caps on this thing. They recommended going to 100 UF, which I had those. They're a little large, so I stuck those in there, and it's
RC 850 V3.
It's been firing up every time.
RC 850 V3.5.
So I'll try it in the morning, and if it still fires up, I'll put it in the rack and pull the other one out and chase that one while it's not talking. But I did check the capacitor values, and one was like 10.01 microfarad or UF, and the other one was like 8. So whether that's low enough to make it that kind of difference, I don't know. And I don't think it was a cold solder joint because I touched that up too, going back in there. I think potentially it might be that, but who knows? But like I said, it seems happy now for the moment.
RC.
So we'll try again. Try it in the morning when it's stone cold. I'll power everything down, and hopefully that corrects this one. I can move on to the next one. All right, here's the test. The 850's been sitting overnight, no power applied to it.
RC 850 V3.5.
Oh, looks like that took care of the problem. So I'm going to go ahead and yank the other one out of the rack and put this one back in its place. And we'll see what the story is with that one. Okay, here's the second RC 850. Does the same thing on power up. The last one, it just doesn't talk. So let's got my my hot air machine here. Gonna blow some air in that same spot the last one was. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, hear a little scratchiness.
RC
there it goes.
850 V3.42.
So I'll change those diodes, those Scotch keys I have here, and then I'm going to change those two capacitors, two 10 UFs to the 100 UFs, and see if it works just like the other one did. That'd be cool if I solved the problem that quickly. Of course, the other one I spent probably a couple hours chasing around that board with the heat, so this one looks like it's the exact same spot. All right, we'll report back. All right, second controller board swapped out the 2 diodes and changed out those 2 capacitors. I did measure the values of the ones I pulled out of there. They're right at 10 UF, so unless under load, there's a problem with them. But when I heat them up, as you saw before, it starts talking, so we'll see if this cures the problem. I'll put it together now. All right, second controller reassembled, so here we go.
RC
Go figure.
V3.42.
That is so strange. Unless unused, those capacitors just weren't holding up or what the deal was there, but it all seems okay now. All right, first one back in the rack. Fire it up.
RC8.
There it goes.
V3.42.
Okay. Continuing on, I'll put the second one back in there. One's just a backup. Okay, final test. Everything's installed back in the rack, so we'll see what happens now.
RC850V3.42.
Okay, I got audio. I think something good there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think the controller's responding.
And 0. HF remote off. Enter net link off.
Okay, all good to go. Just need to set the clock and move on to a new project. That is all.